welcome back to my kitchen. Today is not like a cooking demo per se, but I've mentioned in previous videos during hauls and such that I am trying to make my own fruit pouches because we spend so much money and so much waste on this kind of thing that's like a one-time use pouch, and it's pretty much exclusively plastic, and a lot of times like it's a gamble because my daughter's tastes seem to change a lot. Like this is one of our oldest ones because we found out after the fact that she didn't like apple cinnamon, and I have been using them in other recipes for myself, but it's just taken a long time to get rid of them. But it's just a gamble, and I hate gambling with waste. Like it's a double problem for me. So, and the littlest one, we're not really giving a lot of fruit yet because we're trying to get her used to savory things before she gets a taste for sugar, because you don't have to train a taste for sugar into kids. They come with it. But anyway, so I paid attention to the most consistent flavors that my daughter likes. One of the things is one of the few fresh fruits that she'll eat is cherries. So I got some frozen cherries and blueberries because in the past she's eaten pouches, like a little bit more of an expensive kind of pouch that I would get her every now and then as a treat, that had like apple blueberry. So she doesn't like them whole, but she doesn't know that she actually does like them in pouches. So what she doesn't know won't hurt her. I'm going to put those in there as well. And then I just got plain applesauce, no sugar added. And because I prefer to give her the fruit and veggie pouches, which are even more expensive and even more of a gamble whether she'll eat them, I also got pumpkin puree. So I'm going to start by pureeing my frozen vegetables right here. And the way that blenders work, I will likely have to add a little bit of the applesauce just to get it going. So I'm going to go ahead and puree all of the fruit, and then I'll just refreeze it as a puree, and only make enough to fill the reusable pouches that I bought. But this is how I'm going to try to make my daughter's favorite thing more like earth-friendly and sustainable. Although, even in making these, how much plastic am I using? So I should probably work on maybe next time buying fresh fruit that doesn't come in a plastic bag. Baby steps, right? It's so hard to get out of the habit of just using so much waste, especially with kids, because they'll just sort of glom onto one method of intake, and then if you try to change it on them, they're not interested, especially if they sense that there's like a good reason for it. So I'm gonna wash my hands. Tonight we went to a birthday party and it was awesome. It was really fun. We played whirly ball, which if you've never played, it's kind of like bumper cars meets basketball meets lacrosse. So there's like basket-ended paddles that you catch the ball with, and the ball's like a little wiffle ball, and then you're all driving bumper cars, and then you're trying to like get them onto the goal. And so we played that tonight, and I've played it in the past, but I've never had so much fun. I really think that it had a lot to do with the group that I was playing with. It was a really fun surprise birthday party for a friend of mine, but I was supposed to make the cake for the party and completely forgot. I got the date wrong for some reason, and I think just when I like caught that, oh, it's not Wednesday, it's Saturday, which like, duh, I don't know why I had Wednesday in my head, but I did. When I, like, my brain shifted the date of it, it forgot everything, like, it just sketched every other detail, and I completely forgot that I had told them I would make the cake. And I was planning a really cool cake, and I'm so disappointed I didn't get to do it. But it was also just kind of embarrassing because they didn't have a cake there because they were probably expecting me to bring one. So I just felt so bad. So it was a really fun party, but a little bit dampened by that because I hope my friend didn't feel underappreciated or disappointed or anything like that. Because I had a really cool cake in mind for them. I need to stop volunteering to do cakes. As much as I love people and I want to make cool cakes for them, realistically, I can't even remember to do it, much less actually come up with the time and energy to do it well. without some massive sacrifice to everybody else, like not sleeping at all and then being cranky the next day and having a bad headache and everything else. So it is quite solid, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more applesauce just to make it wet. I don't really want to add water because it's going to be plenty juicy once it's thawed out. But I'm also too impatient to wait for the fruit to thaw out in the blender. So I'm just going to, it's going to be mixed with the applesauce anyway, so. I'm going to go ahead and add my pumpkin puree now, just so I can let the blender mix it in. I feel like the applesauce will incorporate pretty well, but since the pumpkin puree is thick and a little drier, I feel like it would be better to add it now. And then stir it into the applesauce in a big bowl. But I may overfill it and regret all of this. You will see. Okay. Now what I'm seeing as I do this is, well, it looks mighty tasty. I'm a little concerned that the bits of... Hey Jim, are you still awake? Are you handy? Sorry, I just want to ask your opinion on something. If she's not looking at it, do you think that 2-year-old will have a problem with the little bits? Let's try a texture taste.
Yeah, that might be a better way to... Because I don't think she would pay much attention to the way I'll look. Maybe she would, I don't know.
It's so hard to tell with babies.
I know. She's so, like, back and forth, too. It's like one day she likes something, and the other day she doesn't. It's really frustrating if she doesn't like it.
Yeah. Not impossible, but a lot of extra work. So.
I don't think the texture is much different than regular applesauce. I mean, I like it. I'll eat it. There is a little bit of, like...
There's a little bit of a chew to it, right?
I caught a seed that time or something.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see if it'll strain, and if it will, then I'm going to strain it.
Okay.
And if it won't strain, then she'll just have to suck it up.
Okay. Want my spoon in there too?
Yeah. Thank you.
Finish my stretching and we'll clean up a bit.
So yeah, this is a little bit more of a project than I'd hoped, but that's okay. I'm not surprised. I'm going to try straining a little bit, and then I will, if it works, I'll go ahead and strain the rest and give you a little story time while I do it. Let's see here. So let me see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going back and forth. Well, it is straining it all, so we'll keep trying. If it just seems like it's wasteful with the amount that I'm straining out, I will rethink it. Alright, I'm done with my purees now. Got a lot of pulp. So I'm going to put the pulp in a separate can, and I'm going to bake a quick bread tomorrow with it. I'll probably record it for this. Yeah, I've got a big can full of pulp. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going to dump the rest of the puree, pumpkin puree in there. Now, if my kid happened to have been awake when I was making this, I just would have given her a test sample to see if the texture of the like seeds and skins bothered her, because there's a good chance it wouldn't have bothered her, but she's asleep and I wanted to do this tonight, so I went ahead and went through all this work. But if you're doing something like this, if you're getting an idea from me at all, feel free to give your kid a sample before you go through all the work of straining it. However, I'm actually looking forward a lot to whatever it is that I end up baking with this puree, because it's going to be delicious and extremely healthy because that's why I'm giving it to my kid. It's very, very rich in fiber and vitamins and both fruits and vegetables. Well, vegetable singular. So now I've mixed in my applesauce. So I'm going to take out my baggies. You could probably just use a spoon or a Ziploc bag. I have pastry bags available, so I'm going to go ahead and use them. I'm going to get a cup. This one just had water in it from earlier. Not even drinking water, just water for something else. So I'll just do one example bag for you, and then I'll just do the rest off camera. This has not been a quite long video. So you open it like this. And then I'm just going to scoop some in here. If you have a fabric piping bag, all the better if you're trying to be eco-friendly anyway. To fill it to the fill line. You can use a rubber band. If you do use one of these, you can use a rubber band to hold it in place. Or you can just put something heavy on the end and kind of tip it like that. I don't know if you saw what I did. But, okay, so now it's full up to the fill line. And I'm just going to zip it shut. And this is at least 1.5 of these pouches right here. It says it has a capacity of 5 ounces, and these are 3.2 ounces. So you get almost 2 pouches worth in here, which is great because my daughter, as she grows, she drinks 2 pouches at a time now of the smaller ones. Ta-da!
Looks great, lad. So how did you think texture was after you strained it?
Great. It's lumpy again a little bit because I put more applesauce in it, but it doesn't have
Some
bits.
chewiness to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.